Welcome to this explainer. We're going to completely unpack the mechanics of building a zero-inventory brand using the print-on-demand business model. If you've ever wanted to jump into e-commerce but hit a brick wall with upfront costs, well, you're in the perfect place. We're going to break down exactly how this works, step by step, using our source material to give you a crystal-clear roadmap.
So think about this for a second. How exactly do you sell physical products without actually, touching them? Imagine running a bustling retail store, and here's the kicker, you never buy stock up front. It's kind of like a ghost kitchen, but for retail. You operate without having to rent a dusty warehouse and without ever dealing with boxes, shipping tape, or tedious trips to the post office. It sounds almost impossible, right? But it's actually a highly structured, very real system.
That system is called print on demand, or POD. Basically, it's a model where custom products are printed and shipped directly to your customers only after an order is actually placed. The real magic of print on demand is the division of labor. Your chosen provider handles the inventory and all the heavy lifting, while you get to focus entirely on the creative side and building an awesome brand.
Here's our blueprint for today's explainer. We'll cover 1. The zero inventory business. 2. The 6-step process. 3. Where you add value. 4. The realities of POD. And finally, 5. Winning the numbers game.
All right, let's dive into Section 1, the zero inventory business. Let's see how a business actually functions when absolutely zero physical stock is required.
The entire transaction flow really just boils down to 3 simple steps. You sell, they print and ship, and you keep the profit. First, you upload your designs to a platform and choose your products. Think t-shirts, hoodies, mugs, or posters. When a customer buys something on your site, that order is automatically routed to your POD provider. They print it, pack it, and ship it straight to the customer under your brand name. You simply pocket the difference between the retail price you set and the base cost the provider charges.
Moving on to Section 2, the 6-step process. Because honestly, the theory is great, but execution is absolutely everything. This is the exact chronological 6-step workflow you need to follow. It starts with choosing a niche and sourcing your designs, moves into picking your provider and setting up your storefront, and ends with the fulfillment process and keeping that final retail spread. Let's break these down so you can see the nuts and bolts of each phase.
Okay, steps 1 and 2 are all about your audience and your art. Look, the source data is super clear on this. Generic designs just fail. Instead of trying to please everyone, you've got to target highly specific audiences. We're talking dog lovers, hardcore gamers, gym bros, Daisy meme fans, you get the idea. Then pair that niche with a consistent, recognizable style, like minimalist art or retro graphics. That specific combo is exactly what allows you to charge premium prices. Oh, and a quick pro tip when sourcing these designs. Whether you draw them, hire a designer, or use AI, always double-check those trademarks.
Next up, steps 3 and 4. This is where you build your infrastructure. You need to pick your products and carefully review the base costs and estimated shipping. You absolutely need those numbers to set your pricing. Then, you connect your chosen POD provider to a storefront platform, like Shopify, Etsy, Amazon, or WooCommerce. The beauty of this integration? It syncs instantly. When someone buys from your store, the POD system gets all the details without you lifting a finger.
Step 5 is where the money actually changes hands. Let's trace it. When a customer finally hits buy on your storefront, they pay you the full retail price up front. That cash hits your account. At the exact same time, the order flows to your POD provider, and they charge you their base cost for the blank product and the printing. They pack the item up, often with your custom branding, so when it arrives at the customer's door, it looks exactly like it came straight from your own warehouse.
Which brings us to step 6, and a very important target number, 40 to 55%. This is the sweet spot. It's the profit margin over base cost that successful POD brands aim for to stay profitable. It's basically your take-home spread. You calculate this by taking your retail price and knocking off the base costs, shipping, and any platform fees. Over time, pushing higher-priced items like hoodies or creating bundles can easily bump your average profit per order well into this target zone.
All right, Section 3, where you add value. Because we need a critical mindset shift here. You are not just a middleman.
To really wrap your head around this, think about the strict divide in this business model. The POD provider? They are your back-end operations team. They handle the messy physical reality of blank garments, ink, printers, boxes, and shipping labels. You, on the other hand, are the front-end brand. While the provider handles the logistics, you are entirely responsible for the brand identity, the marketing,
and building the customer relationship.
Since you aren't taping up boxes, you might be wondering, wait, what's my actual job here? Well, your value is massive. Your job is to intimately understand your niche and create unique designs they literally can't find anywhere else. Your value is building a cohesive, trustworthy storefront. Your value is driving traffic through ads, social media, and email marketing. And crucially, your value is managing customer service to create a fantastic experience that turns a one-time buyer into a lifelong fan.
Let's pivot to Section 4, the realities of POD. It's time for a reality check on the pros and the cons.
The pros are pretty amazing, right? No inventory risk, super low startup costs, and the freedom to test a massive range of products completely risk-free. If a design flops, who cares? You haven't lost a warehouse full of stock. But let's ground this with the cons. You are trading that lack of risk for lower profit margins compared to buying in bulk. You also have to deal with longer shipping times, potential quality and color variations. Seriously, always order samples for yourself. And really intense competition if your designs are just generic.
Check out this quote from our source material, because it really hits the nail on the head. Successful POD brands treat it like a real brand building exercise, not just spamming random designs onto t-shirts. If you only remember one thing from this explainer today, let it be that. Long-term success in print-on-demand is all about genuine innovation, deep audience connection, and deliberate brand building. It is not a get-rich-quick scheme.
Finally, Section 5, winning the numbers game. Because if you want to survive, you absolutely must track your KPIs.
Think of this table as your ultimate cheat sheet for profitability. To actually know if your POD business is making money, you have to watch these numbers like a hawk. Track your real margin by comparing base versus retail price. Watch your conversion rate to see how many site visitors actually pull out their wallets. Keep a close eye on your CPA, or cost per acquisition. Basically, how much ad spend does it take to get just one sale? And you definitely want to boost your AOV, your average order value, maybe by pushing bundles, all while tracking how often those customers come back.
All of those individual metrics feed into this one golden mathematical rule for success. LTV must be greater than CAC. Your customer's lifetime value, the total cash they are going to spend with your brand over time, must be clearly higher than your cost of acquiring that customer. It's that simple. If your design quality, niche focus, and marketing can combine to drive that LTV above your CAC, well, you've just built yourself a highly profitable, scalable machine.
So that brings us to the big question. Now that you've got the complete print-on-demand blueprint, what are you going to do with it? Are your designs going to build a lasting front-end brand that deeply connects with a specific niche, or are they just going to be another random t-shirt lost on the internet? The tools and the logistics, those are already handled for you by the back-end providers. The front-end brand is entirely up to you. Thanks so much for hanging out with me for this explainer, and I seriously can't wait to see what you build.